Good morning. I actually have my coffee. I have my coffee. So you're not actually watching me make coffee first thing in the morning. All right, let me share the link. So there we go. Oops, there we go. All right. I am a little bit late, but I got coffee. It's been a day. No, don't jump on me. No. No. Ow! Ow! That hurt. No. Oh my God, people. I hate being the middle person. I don't like flipping back and forth. Farah, how are you, Farah? I'm feeling great, thank you. Good morning, Dale. I don't like flipping back and forth between client and their service. You know what I mean? Like they're billing with something, which is what I'm trying to figure out now. Is I've got a client and my text messages going, upgrade our account over here, and I've got the customer service rep over here. Going, can you ask about this? And do you want to switch to this? And, I can save you 20% if you switch to annual. Like, I don't like this. I already have a question. Do you have a video for registering with the Library of Congress? I do not have a video for that. That would be an amazing video. What a good idea. Okay, but what you're going to want to do is, you always answer me at the wrong times. All right. I can type. Okay, so in the United States, Farah, you're in the United States, right? Just double checking. Thank you for your website guides. Very helpful. I've shared it with my cohort of 300 people. Oh, yay! I'm so glad you found it helpful. Taylor! Good morning, Taylor. All right, so that's not what I wanted. I went to the wrong site. No. There we go. Okay, so where you're going to go is, I'm going to put this in the chat. Executive dysfunction is whooping your butt. I am so sorry. North Carolina. Okay, I had a feeling. I was like, I'm pretty sure. That's not where I put it. Where do I put? Oh, that's right. I have to go. I can see the chat, but I can't chat the chat. Yes. That's a Monday phrase for you, okay? It's Monday. That's what happens on a Monday. So, if I go to there, and then there, and then there, and then there. I'm going to see the back of my head. There we go. Okay. I had to wait to mute it so I didn't loop and echo. All right. If you go here, copyright.gov/registration. That's where you're going to go first. That's the site where you're going to register your copyright. Hang on, Taylor. So you're going to go there first. You're going to scroll down. There's like these blocks where you're going to pick what it is you're trying to register your copyright for, which is a literary work, right? Writing. So you're going to click there. And then you're going to choose pretty much just walk through. There's a button right under the photo. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, right under the photo, there's a button that says register a literary work. Now, if you wanted to, they've got all these tutorials and stuff on the page so you can look and see like if you need to. And it's got things like group registration and trying to register the copyright of your unpublished work and things a lot like all these different things, right? But once you're ready, you're going to click register a literary work. And then that's going to take you to... Go faster! Keep up with me now. My goodness. All right, yes. A warning that says, hey, this is the Library of Congress. No. All right. And then on the next page, here it's giving me a login because I'm already registered. You have to register an account. So on the next page, you're going to register your account, and then you're going to go through and fill out the form for the book you're trying to register. I guess the video. Here's the video. But register your account and then register the video. Register the video. Oh my God. And then register the book. Come on. Login. Your login didn't work. Okay. And then forget your password and then have to do it all over again. What are you doing, cat? Come here. I don't want you on my lap. Look, come say hello. Say hello. Ugh, your claws. Look, see? This is why I don't want you on my lap, because you are wrecking my sweaters. Okay, purr. Oh, God, come on. What does it matter? Okay, all right, just a little bit. Oof. You're writing this down. Basically, once you get to this screen where it asks you to register, you pretty much just follow the on-screen instructions. I can't walk all the way through it. No, see, this butt down. All right. Oh my God. Worst timing. Ugh. I will request a formal video at a later time. I will do a better video where I am able to actually like share my screen and stuff so I can like show you step by step when I know my password and I'm logged back in and so on and so forth so that you can see it. But basically what you're looking for, just make sure you read it. When you get, ow, stop it. When you get to the part where you're actually like choosing, like, this is what I want to do, select this. Double check the options because there are a couple of different options. And one of them is like $45 and another one is like $85. And you want to make sure, obviously, that you choose the one that's right for your book. More than likely, it's the $45 option. More than likely. But you never know until you're actually in there and reading through the options, okay? It was the caffeine messing up my sleeping and making my brain overwork. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. Does that mean you started like cutting off caffeine a little bit earlier in the day? Is she hugging you with her finger teeth? Yes. Yes, she is. And she's been doing that now for a couple of weeks. Well, I mean, she's always done it a little bit, but lately I've noticed it more because I've been trying to wear sweaters. And so she like, and then rips my sweaters or she like rips the knit out. So I've got like 7 sweaters upstairs that I need to go buy a smaller crochet hook so I can go try to like pull the loose threads back in. She's so cute and I love her so much, but my goodness, the finger teeth. Sometimes the love gets a little overwhelming and the finger teeth come out. Yeah. I can relate, right? Had to limit to 16 ounces before 3 p.m. No caffeine after that. Ow, 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 ow. No more. No more kneading. You don't need to knead. No, no. Ow. Okay, get down. Nope, nope. You don't need to knead. You don't. You think you do, but you don't. Believe me, I smell like you. I'm covered in your hair. Are you done kneading? Okay, so executive dysfunction for outlining. Ow! Bless it! Cat! Listen, I love you. Keep your claws to yourself, okay? I don't claw you. I don't claw you to show you that I love you. I nudge you and I kiss you and I rub you. But I don't claw you. Okay. Whew. Okay, so outlining when you really don't want to outline. Ow! Stop. That hurts. Whew. Yeah, could you keep your finger teeth to yourself now? What is going on with you lately? Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. So, outlining when you don't really want to outline, when you don't feel like you can outline. You don't have to outline everything. Let's start there. Outline the biggest moments. Do you already know what the twist of your book is going to be? Or do you already have an idea of, oh, I'm going to have this happen, right? This is going to be my big reveal. I'm going to reveal the villain this way or whatever. A lot of times when we start our books or our stories, we have some kind of a spark of an idea that we want in there. It might be high concept, but we have an idea. So start with that. Put that down on paper. There's your outline. And then you might think of, at some point in time, hang on, sorry, client messaged me. Sorry. Anyway, then at some point in time, as you're going through everything, you might come up with something that happened after that, or you might come up with something that happened before that, right? You might be like, oh, you know what? A month before that happens, this has to happen so that that is, so that that leads up to it. Throw that in your outline. You do not need to sit down and actually put together a whole outline. You don't have to. That, like, I get it. That's kind of like, what's a good analogy? I can't think of an analogy. I'm not that witty this morning. But you don't have to like sit down and work through your entire outline and put it all together. The point of an outline is just to help give your story some structure prior to getting into your story. That's it. That's the only point. You can do it 10 minutes before you start writing. You can sit down for your writing session. Let's say you're going to start writing at the top of the hour, right? Like right at 10 o'clock. You can sit down at 9:50 and say, what am I going to write about? And put it in the outline, and boom. You do not have to work everything out. You do not have to have everything planned out. You can just, oh, I'm going to do this. You can review your outline, where you're at, as you're reviewing the outline and seeing where you're at. If you have any other ideas, you can just write those down, and that's what you're working on. You don't have to have the whole story outlined. We don't know her. She doesn't go here. Ooh. Oh, honey. Oh, I love you. Look, you just started purring. Good morning, Kimmy. So yeah, if you sit down and you're like, I need an outline, but I can't seem to get the outline, just write one part, write the biggest part down. It doesn't have to even look like an outline. Like some people use Post-it notes. They don't like it when I tell them, well, you're really outlining your story, because they don't want to sit down with a notebook and outline their story. So they just use Post-it notes and all their ideas, and then they shuffle the Post-it notes in order. That's an outline. They don't like it, but that's an outline. You do what works for you. I'm hoping if I write an outline, the characters will somewhat stick to the plot. Well, here's the thing. That doesn't always happen. Outlines help you go through plot structure and theme. They don't always help you control your characters. Does that make sense? Like what ends up happening, think about it this way. And a lot of people, they feel like outlines kill their creativity. That's why they like to pants. Hardcore pantsing, like zero outlining. And let's remember that the, planning side of things does not only mean outlining. There are a whole bunch of other issues with planning, other things involved in planning, but outlining is one of those things that a lot of people who don't like outlining feel like the reason they don't like outlining is because it kills their creativity. Okay, fine. Let's say you hop in a car and you don't know where you're going yet, and you just get on a highway and you start driving, right? Most people, if they have no idea where they're going, they're going to try their darndest to stick to that main road. Maybe go off here or there, like if they see an exit and they're like, oh, hey, that looks pretty cool. But then they still try to make sure, without a GPS, okay? No cheating with the GPS. But anyway, they still try to make sure they always know how to get back to the highway. They still try to make sure that even if they go off to get something to eat or go to a hotel or hit that tourist attraction or even make a couple of turns, that they know how to get back to that main highway. And they don't go too far. They try to stick to that. Versus if you get in the car and you know where you're going, You go, okay, I'm leaving Boston and I'm heading to Baltimore. Now you can do whatever the heck you want. You can charter a plane, you can get in a car, you can rent a truck, you can go all over the place because you know that in the end you're going to hit Baltimore. That's where, for me, outlining unlocks my creativity. And the things with the characters is like, as long as they get to that milestone where you get to, whatever it is you're planning, whatever it is you got, but that's the event that happens, who cares how they got there? They're going to wreak havoc and just go wild all the way there as creatively as they can muster, as long as they hit that milestone. Does that make sense? The number of side quests, I just have one big story of side quests right now. I just don't feel like I can put it outright in an outline. My characters kind of just start doing their own thing and I love it, but I have to keep my outline super basic to allow for plot twists. I know the end destination. My characters just love chaos and giving me migraines. I really don't want you to kill the messenger here, but an outline may not help that. Especially if they're getting to the end destination, even if it's not the way that you meant for it to. Don't tell me that. I'm sorry. I feel like Joey Tribbiani right now, where he's like, I'm sorry. After he punches Ross or whatever, like 50 times. I am so sorry. This is my coffee. No, ma'am. Mm-hmm. You need them to be more structured. You need the characters to be more structured, or you need the plot to be more structured. I know the irony of me of all people demanding structure from my brain people. Well, now here's the other thing. Maybe you need to think about the character arc a little bit more instead of the plot. So it might be, don't kill me. Remember I said there's more to planning than just outlining your book, right? Part of planning is a lot of times character development. So it might be that instead of creating an outline for the book, you need a little bit more character development and work on the character plot. And for that, you'll look at your characters, how they started, who they were, what their personality was like, what their flaws were, things like that. And then think about who you want them to be at the end, who they are, what their flaws still are, but what they were able to accomplish because of those flaws, what they were able to learn because of those flaws, and how those lessons changed their outlook on the world. Start with that. Every character has to go through that. And then, start with those 2 points, beginning, ending. And then maybe once you have those 2 points decided on, you can add in a couple more points. It could just be that your characters are trying to figure out who the hell they are right now. So, but if you sit down and instead of focusing so hard on the plot, you focus a little bit on the character arc and what they are going through themselves internally while they go through the plot, you might be able to put together a couple of growth milestones that are like, okay, so by this point, not only does the event need to happen, but my character needs to have learned whatever this lesson is. My character needs to have learned that it's okay to trust some people. Just be discerning. Or my loner character needs to learn that sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Or I can't think of any other ideas because I'm not witty today. But try focusing a little bit more on the arc and how you want that to go and how you want your characters to change through the story instead of focusing so hard on the plot. Maybe that'll help you bring things together a little bit more. At least I'll have more time to plan and write this week because you have COVID again. Oh, Kimmy, oh no. You mean looking at their history and how they evolve as a person? I do mean how they evolve as a person. Yes, ma'am. All of these examples are giving me hives. Not be a loner. That sounds terrible. I'm a loner. I'm not, notice I didn't say make the loner not be a loner. There's nothing wrong with being a loner. What I said was maybe the loner needs to learn that they can trust people sometimes. Not that they're not going to be a loner. People are so people-y. I get it. But every character, go back to one of your favorite books that are within your genre. Or go back to any television show or movie. And really think about and analyze one character. Watch the whole series or the whole movie and focus solely on what one character is doing and how they act and who they are and what they identify as at the beginning, and then go to the end of the movie. They still act and identify as the same person. It's just now that they identify and act as the same person who has learned a very important lesson. So it changed their outlook on the world. It didn't change their person. That loners are still loners. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're not loners anymore. But now they've learned they've learned that closing their heart to love, for example, is bogus. Or they've learned that they can trust people. Or they've learned that it's okay to ask for help. Or they've learned that they're not an island. You can still be a loner and learn those lessons. Hello, Franco. How are you? Finding Nemo is one of my favorites for that exercise. Yes. Stomps to outline journal. Fine. I love you, Taylor. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Mm-hmm. Dude, you sit down and you're so calm and you're so lovable and cute, and I pet you and you're like, claws. Like, oh, yay, let me stretch and give you my claws. I love how amazing examples like Finding Nemo on Breakfast at Tiffany's are examples being thrown out, and I thought of Joey from Friends. Yeah, he's another really great example. If you watch Friends from beginning to end, and you really watch who he is and how he identifies all the way through the entire series, he is the same person. He has just grown, right? He hasn't changed who he is. He doesn't all of a sudden he's not, and he's no longer an Italian boy from a large family, right? He's still who he is. He's still an actor. He's still lovably naive. He's still who he is. But he has learned lessons. He has learned friendship. His friends have had an effect on him. His journey has had an effect on him. He's grown. And when you think about if you go and you look up like bad reviews about anything, any show or whatever, when you think about those bad reviews, what are the bad reviews usually centered around? Usually it's because the characters didn't have any kind of growth, or like when you hear about complaints about things like gratuitous spicy scenes or gratuitous violence or things like that in certain movies or in certain books, it's usually because those particular scenes don't have an impact either on the plot or on the characters. Characters don't learn from it, and therefore there's no impact. And so it's just because the author just wanted to write a scene, not because it belonged in the book. Sheldon. Frasier. Yep. Now the wheels are spinning. Nice. I don't go to the movies because the characters lack depth. A lot of times, yeah. This is one of the reasons why I had such a problem. We were talking in office hours last week with Bones. I had such a problem with Bones. Don't at me. Someday I'll get over it and I will go back and I will watch it. But this is why. She didn't grow. At the beginning of the series, she was this forensic anthropologist. And if you didn't do hard science, even though anthropology is a soft science, but if you didn't do hard science, you weren't a real scientist. And I can't give you any respect. And I can't give you any, like, I can't recognize your credibility. And she was like that no matter how much she hung out with Dr. Sweet, or anyone else. Like, she remained that way all the way until I gave up watching for several seasons in the very least. I did not watch the last, I know the last season definitely, maybe the last 2 seasons. But through the whole time that I did watch, she didn't grow at all. She didn't learn any lessons. She was exactly the same. She grew in other ways. Loki, yes, Loki. I might have to just shut up about it and, suck it up and go watch Bones. Maybe it's because I said this at Office Hours. Maybe if I binge it, I'll be able to see the growth better instead of like sporadically 1 or 2 episodes here or there, because it was still a weekly thing and I still had, cable at the time. But yeah. All of our favorite shows, all of them, the characters have tremendous growth. They identify as the same person to their core, but they're not the same person anymore, if that makes sense. Like, even Supernatural, Sam and Dean are still Sam and Dean, but they are also very different in season 15 than they were in season 1, right? And I think this is one of the reasons why everyone was so mad at the last season or 2 of Game of Thrones, if you think about it, because we didn't get to see the real growth for Daenerys, right? We saw some growth, and then we were just kind of expected to believe that it would have continued escalating as that, and they jammed like 10 seasons worth of growth into 4 episodes, right? And like that was that. That's where, the largest complaints come from, is the fact that she was headed one way and then all of a sudden everyone went, what the heck? Or Littlefinger, or even Tyrion. Both of them were like these cunning, witty characters in the first couple of seasons, maybe season 3 and 4, right? But then they hit season 6, season 7, and they're dumber somehow. And all of a sudden, like, they're just, Tyrion is full of jokes for a 12-year-old, and Littlefinger's just making stupid mistakes that don't even make any sense, that he would never have made in season 1. Oh, I hated Littlefinger too. Do a full rewatch now the second season is done. Worth it. So anyway, Taylor, did any of that rant help you at all? Please tell me yes, because I hope it did. Not gonna lie, I feel a little nauseous thinking about developing my characters. In that case, just keep writing. Just keep writing. I haven't seen the second season either, and haven't watched the new Mandalorian and so much else. I have not watched the latest season of the Mandalorian because I'm so mad, and this is gonna sound so weird, because this is gonna sound weird. I got so mad that they brought Grogu back that I have not yet watched the latest season of Mandalorian. I know that sounds so weird because I'm such a fan of Grogu and I love him to death. But I really felt like when I saw him come back, I really felt like they had written him out, and now instead of growth, that's like the theme of the day, but now instead of getting that growth and getting to see like what the Mandalorian is going to do next, and it is his show, I feel like they went, oh my God, if we get rid of Grogu, we're going to lose so much money because everyone loves Grogu and we can't write anything else. So we got to bring him back, find a way to bring him back. And I was so disappointed in that, which again, feels really weird coming from me, but it's not the Grogu show. It wasn't called Baby Yoda. It's about the Mandalorian. So it should have stayed the Mandalorian. It helps you. Yay! I'm going to do it because that is what I need to do. But I don't have to like it. Actually, you kind of do have to like it. Actually, you do kind of have to like it. If you don't like it, you're not going to finish it. I know in my head what my characters have been through, but I don't like thinking about it too hard. They have all been through a lot. Okay, so don't try not to think about what they've been through within the context of your story. Instead, try thinking about where you want them to get to emotionally or psychologically or whatever. Like, think about not just, because you do have to, as you are writing a story, you do have to go, okay, so they went through this, and especially if it was traumatic and whatever, how are they coping? How are they reacting? How are they overcoming, etc., right? But you also got to think of, where do you want them to get to eventually, right? If they react to stress with anger, but you want them to get to the point where they react to stress by first like learning how to breathe. How do they learn that? Because it's not going to come from a simple speech, right? Things like that, behavioral changes that come up from some sort of psychological lesson, they do take time, but they also take reinforcement. So like, start there maybe. He went away for a reason, but even in those 2 seasons, Mando grew a lot. My characters appear at inconvenient times and then bother me until I write that scene down. What is this control that you speak of? I did not say control. I feel that way about Multiverse of Madness. I felt like it was redoing Wanda's character arc in WandaVision. I haven't watched it yet. A ton of their past are the walls that they have to break down to get to where they need to be. Okay, do you know where they need to be? Random question. Where the heck did Wanda's friggin' accent go? I don't know. Couldn't she theoretically, given like her powers, just have any accent she wanted? Can you do that? Like when they change appearance, they can change accent, right? Or if they change appearance, if they can change appearance, can they change just an accent? I don't know. It's a Monday. Y'all are making me think. That would make sense. And maybe some kind of mini stroke. You kind of know where they need to be. Okay. Well, Taylor, if you're not sure, there's also nothing wrong with just writing. Just keep writing. Loki can, so yeah. If Loki can do it, I'm positive that Wanda can do it. Could you imagine if Wanda grabbed the timelines to enchant them? Don't I have to have structure in an academy romance? Also, am I cheating by doing an academy? You have to have structure, yes. Does that mean you have to write the structure in? No. You don't have to. If you can edit anything. You can add the structure in through an edit. Your job as the author is to get the story down in any way that you can. For some of us, having the structure figured out ahead of time is what works for us. For others, you write by the seat of your pants and then you figure out the structure later. Now, pantsers, their editing process is a little more in depth because of the fact that they're plotting as they go, and they're just looking up things as they need to and just writing. The structure almost always comes in editing anyway, though. So even if you don't have structure at the time that you're writing, then when you're editing, you can always add in the structure. You just go and you figure out from there. You don't have to have it to start. That would be insane, but I would love to see what would happen with that. Right, Jessica? I was trying to figure out how to introduce ancestral characters, but now I think I've got it. Yay! I heard writing an academy is cheating at world development. Get off TikTok. That sounds like something a gatekeeper would say. Honestly. And that sounds like... Do y'all remember, when was it? Last year, that person was like, oh, you like this book, so you've never read the classics, huh? Like, some people are just snobs. And there's no such thing as cheating at world development, because even if you set something in, contemporary, you still have to like research that world, and you still have to figure out how your story fits in that world, and or how close to the world you have to be. And you can add in asylums or hospitals, because parts of the world also change. Like, the world development is still there. You're still going through things. You're just not creating, a whole planet. but the world development is still there. So that person, whoever told you that, can like just flick them. Just, I am not condoning violence. Just don't listen to them. Shoe fly them. I also heard fated mates is cheating at romance. So I guess I am just a big fat. There's no cheating. Do you know what cheating is? Okay. Cheating at a book is, oh my God. I'll tell you what's cheating. There is a publisher, hybrid, but still, there is a publisher on TikTok who said to do this. This is cheating. Going to Amazon and deciding, what genre do I want to write? And then doing a search for the books of that genre, and then buying the top like 5 or 6 of the books in that genre, and putting all of their plot lines into a singular plot formula, and then going to Fiverr and saying, I want you to go write this book similar to these books using this plot structure. That's cheating, okay? That's not coming up with a story. There is zero inspiration there. There is just, that's not even modeling off of another story. That's just like, that's as close to copying as you get without actual copyright infringement. And that's if the person you hire doesn't actually plagiarize. That's cheating, okay? Creating, like, using tropes or using things that you don't have to think too hard about, such as academic romance. There's still so many other things. Who cares? Like, setting it up in a university, sure, that makes the setting or the world development a little bit easier than, say, creating a fantasy world. But you still have so many other things to plot. Do you know how hard academic romance is? That is still hard. Romance is hard. Like, there's no such, if you are writing a story, there's no such thing as cheating, as long as you are writing and developing the stories. That is worse than AI. Yes. This is what humans do. It's like saying writing a workplace romance is a cheat code. It's a subgenre. Anyone can write about it. You have fourth wing crush. They go out into the world at some point. That's cheating. Writing is unique to the author's experience, and many of us do similar things. That's why tropes exist. And tropes exist because they work. Things like fated lovers, they work because so many people love the idea of a singular soulmate out there who is just destined to be with them. And all they have to do is survive long enough to meet them. I guess I am not cheating because Naomi told me I'm not. You're damn right you're not. Exactly. And on that happy note, I gotta run. I got client stuff to do today. It is Monday. Word office hours in roughly 30 minutes. Okay, at the bottom of the hour. You are so welcome. Y'all, thank you for hanging out with me today and just being amazing people. I hope you have an amazing day. Go get all the words written. If you're in Word, I'll see you for office hours in right around 30 minutes. If not, I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Okay?